Hello guys, today our topic of discussion is nutrition. This is the first chapter of CBSE class 10th biology subject. So we are starting with this chapter. Basically, what is nutrition? Nutrition is the process by which an organism obtain food. Like every organism is obtaining food into its body, but how it is deriving the nutrients from it, that process is known as nutrition. It is basically of two types. One is autotrophic nutrition and second is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Like in this autotrophic mode of nutrition, auto means self, self deriving self nutrition, and hetero means other. So we will discuss one by one. In autotrophic, we are saying that they are deriving nutrition on their own. The best example is green plants. What green plants do? Green plants use carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green colored pigment which is found in chloroplast or plastids of the leaves of plants, and they help to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. So the organism that derive autotrophic nutrition are known as autotrophs, and those bacteria which derive their nutrients on their own, they are known as autotrophic bacteria. So autotrophs are of two types. If they are deriving nutrition from light, they are known as phototrophics, or if they are deriving nutrition from chemicals, they are known as chemotrophic. So they are phototrophics are also known as photoautotrophic organisms, means the organisms that derive their nutrient from light on their own. And we have already studied the example green plants and cyanobacteria. The second is chemotrophic. It is also known as chemoautotrophic, the organism that derive their food from chemicals. So the example is sulfur containing bacteria and nitrosomonas. They use sulfur for their growth, and nitrosomonas use nitrogen as a source of nutrition for their growth. Next, second major type is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. The most common example in heterotrophic mode of nutrition is animals and human beings. We can't prepare our own food, rather we depend upon other organisms for deriving the food. So in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, there are three subclasses. First is saprophytic, then second is holozoic, and third is parasitic. Saprophytic mode of nutrition is the organism, sapro means rotten, the organism that derive their nutrition from dead decaying organisms, that is known as saprophytic mode of nutrition. The best example is bread mold, or any fungi is the example of saprophytic mode of nutrition. Fungi is a saprotrophic organism because it derives its food from dead and decaying substances. Therefore, it is the best example in this. We can usually see that whenever anything around us is decaying, and we used to see the spores of fungi onto it, that is saprophytic mode of nutrition. Next is holozoic, the organisms that depend upon solid food, they are known as, that mode of nutrition is known as holozoic mode of nutrition. Example, man, dog, cats, etc. The last type of nutrition is parasitic mode of nutrition. This is quite different from the previous one we have studied. The organism that depends upon other organisms for their food, they are known as parasites, and that mode of nutrition is known as parasitic mode of nutrition. Like we have seen so many times ticks on the buffaloes and cows and dogs around us. So those ticks are the parasitic organism, and the organism on which they are living, like they are living on dogs or buffaloes, they are host organism. We can state example of lices also. Lices in to we say them jua in English, Punjabi or Hindi. So these organisms, they live on the head of human beings and derive their nutrition from the scalp of the human beings. So they are parasites and the human beings are host. There are then two types of parasites. One are total parasites that completely depend upon the other organism. For example, amarbil or cascuta. So the cascuta or amarbil is a stem-like plant that depends upon other plants for its nutrition. Then there are some parasites that do not completely depend upon the other organism. They have the ability to derive their nutrition by themselves, and they depend upon the other organism too. They are known as semi-parasites, and chandan is the example. Chandan is a plant that depend upon other plants also as a parasite and derive its own food also. Apart from this, and parasites, if they are living inside the organism's body, they are known as endoparasites, and if they are living outside or on the body of organism, that is known as ectoparasite. So lices is the example of ectoparasites, and worms, like we are having sometimes we suffer from some stomach disease, and doctors usually recommend to the children's basically in the children's, and doctors say that he is having worms in his stomach. So basically those worms are the parasites. They come under category endoparasites. So with this, the basics of nutrition is done. We will continue with nutrition in plants and animals. Thank you so much.